Found myself another dresser at the end of someone's driveway. Let's do it over. B4. Okay, so I am gonna go in and sand the whole thing down, all the surfaces. So I got all my surfaces sanded and I lined up my top drawers as evenly as I can, and I'm gonna do moth border across the entire 3 drawers. So I need a straight line to work off of. I'm going to just place my moth and I'm going to use the intersections of the wings for my straight line. So I want to probably go up and do a straight line 2 inches above the drawer. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. There's my lines for now. Okay, so I found my center point on my middle drawer and I'm gonna start with my first moth impression there. And I cut myself out a mask. So I'm going to put some ink on this here. And my line is going to go in between the 2 wings of the moth, and my center's there. So I'm going to move to the left and right of my moth. So that's the first start. I'll put in a mask on here. And I'm setting up my spacing here, so. And then from here, I left an impression on my mask. What I'm gonna wanna do is take my mask and fold it in half so that I get it on the other side of my mask. There I can kind of see. So I have spacing for the other side as well. So now I know that to get the even spacing I want, I'm going to want to line up my wings with that line and just cover my ink that I transferred on the other side of the stamp. Now I'm ready to move my mask in either direction so that I can keep that even spacing the whole way across the 3 dressers. Okay, so for colors, I am using Miss Mustard Seed Milk Paint in Boxwood, and Mustard Seed Yellow, and Flow Blue, Artisimo. So I'm gonna mix those up and get started painting. Look at these yummy colors. So I'm going to go in with the lighter of the blue and paint just above all of my moths. And then later, I'm gonna come back in with my dark blue and work that from the top down. So I get like a nice gradient of the dark Artisimo and the lighter Flow Blue. Okay, so here's what we got so far now. So now I'm going to go in with my green on the underside here. And I'm going to blend some yellow in there a bit too. I really like Miss Mustard Seed Milk Paint. The minerals kind of like dance around a lot because there's no like mixing, what's the word? No binders and the minerals in the paint. So I'm just gonna go back and forth between the green and the yellow here and get lots of texture. I want it to look like a field of greenery. And then when I'm done, it's more or less like this over here. Lots of different varieties and colors. Okay, so once again, I'm using my quilt ruler to give me just an eyeball sort of guideline. And I basically did this before on one of my other videos. So maybe you might want to check that out if you want to look at this more in depth. But I got myself this cute little daisy stamp, and I'm gonna do that the whole way across, masking left to right, and then I'm gonna mask up and down. Okay, so I did the whole length of my 2 bottom drawers, and now I want to do another row up. Now if the space here were greater than, like, basically the distance here is the same as from here to here. So if I were working on a larger space, I do another guideline for myself up here, but it's pretty much equivalent. So I'm just gonna go with it. So I'm gonna want to put a mask underneath where I'm working. And actually I'd like to go in between. So I'm gonna mask there. Okay. And from here, I'm going to have to mask above me and to whatever direction beneath me. And you know what? I'm gonna have to cut out a 3rd mask just to get better mask coverage there. Okay, so you can see now I have my 3 masks there. And you can see right here where the ink is really concentrated, that's where the stamp is overlapping on the mask. And I line that up with that every time. And we're just gonna do a little dance here. So I'm gonna continuously move this mask over and over as I work. And it's okay that I'm not getting full impressions all the time, because I'm gonna go back in later and paint in these little daisies. Okay, so I have 2 rows of my little flowers on my 2 bottom drawers. And I have this nice handle here, so that actually poses some problems with getting the 3rd row on there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of just, I don't like all this empty space here. So I'm gonna kind of fold my stamp and just try to get some impressions to fill those spaces. And also from this point on, I'm going to be adding some turmeric ink to my provincial blue ink, so that every row from this point on is gonna slowly get greener and then fade out. Because I don't think I'm going to be doing rows all the way up to my moths. I think I'm gonna slowly fade it out. Tuck it under, kind of roll it back, boom. And I'm happy with that so far, so here we go. Okay, so I'm going on my 3rd row on my 2nd row of drawers, and I've been adding more yellow ink or turmeric ink to my working ink blob station. And from this point on, I'm going to be adding white mixing ink to complete all the way up to my moths. Okay, so I finally finished all my stamping, and I'm really happy with the gradient from the provincial blue all the way up to this color on up here. And now I'm moving on to another step. I got some nice mustardy colored yellow and some white. I'm going to be filling in the flowers starting from the bottom. And as I work my way up, I'm going to add more water to my paint so it's a little more transparent as I go up. And I'm going to fill in the flowers going up until I feel like I have enough color there. I probably won't be adding any color to the top row. Okay, so I got all my stamping and painting done, and now I'm going to take this time to just touch up any parts of the dresser that is kind of a little sad. I got some wood glue, and I do not have any wood fill right now, but I do have my paper clay, and to be honest with you, it's a lot more pleasurable to deal with than the wood glue. So I'm just gonna sculpt these corners back nice and sharp so that this can have a nice full makeover. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and attempt to open this can of dark stain.
A few moments later.
And I am going to hit all of my raw wood with that. Okay, and because at this point I am too lazy to mask all of my moss, I am going over with a top coat of mustard seed hemp oil. And then I'm going to take my drop cloth, oopsie, and just mask it with that. I'm just gonna go ahead and flick some stars in my sky. Use my handy wipey to then wipe it off where I don't want it. And it wipes off nice and easy because I have that nice protective coat of hemp oil. I finished it! Me and my husband drug this outside for you guys with the intention of having some gorgeous pictures of it outside in the natural light, much like I did for my peony dresser. And we lugged it all the way over to our neighbor's beautiful garden. We took all these pictures and videos, and then when I looked at them on the computer, it was just like, it was not good. Like, they were like, it was sad. So this is my attempt at like actually showing you this dresser. I do love how it turned out. The stain really brought the wood color back to life. And I love the starry sky. It makes me feel cozy and like I'm out in nature, thinking of fond memories, childhood. I can hear like the crickets chirping when I look at it. I have a lot more content that I'm working on and so many ideas coming your way. So if you are interested in watching more products done by me and inspiration, like, comment, and subscribe. I really, really appreciate it.